And we are back on the Flex. We're here with Ned Miller III. Welcome to you, Flex.
Thank you for having me.
He is a Proud of Them honoree. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you all very much.
Is this your first time being nominated?
Yeah, my first time being nominated for really any of these types of awards.
Wow, well, congratulations. You got it on the first go. So clearly you're very deserving.
To my knowledge, I actually didn't know I'd been nominated for this one until I got the email telling me I'd won.
Wow.
So do you know who nominated you?
Yes, I was told sometimes later that my mother had done it actually.
Aww.
Yes, thank you.
So nice.
Wow.
Shout out to his mom.
Yeah, she definitely kept that secret good. Wow. Okay, so what category were you nominated?
Culture.
Culture, okay. So what have you done to promote and celebrate the culture of the Cayman Islands?
Well, my award was given to me because of my work with the Cayman Catboat Club and the Maritime Heritage Foundation.
Okay, so tell us about that. What do you do at the Cayman Catboat Club?
Well, at the Cayman Catboat Club, I work primarily as the shipwright for the newest catboat project we have going. We're looking to revitalize the industry, so to speak, or give it a rebirth. We've just finished our most recent creation, Dignita. It was done on commission. She's completed now. She's completed now.
Yes.
And we're looking to start the next one hopefully within a month or so.
Okay, so how long does it take to produce one of these boats?
It all depends. The boats are done on commission and to the owner's specifications. So we'll usually take between 4 to 6 months depending on how much detail the person wants with them.
Okay, and how many boats have you helped build?
Well, this is the first catboat to be built here in quite a while. I won't give the exact date because I was corrected previously. There was a boat built.
Okay.
There's supposed to have been a boat built in the BRAC within the last 16 years. This was the first one in Cayman, I believe, to be built in Grand Cayman, to be built within the last 25 years.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so how did you get involved?
Was pretty much born into it. I mean, my family's always been very heavily tied to the maritime tradition of the islands. All my family, all the way back to great-great-great-grandfather, all have been captains. My father has a captain's license, my grandfather. And it was just sort of how my life went, was that I was intrinsically drawn to the ocean and to sailing and to boats in general.
You're destined to.
Literally. Okay, so do you have your captain's license?
No, I'm hoping to go for mine within the next few years. I want to get some more experience under my belt first. My father has a lot of experience sailing out in the open ocean. I myself, most of my experience is coastal.
How do you get a captain's license? That's so cool.
For
Captain.
real?
It takes out classes and you have to apply to it, and it's basically a test you have to take, and it's also a lot of hours you have to put into it. You have to complete a certain number of hours.
All right, well, all the best on that. I'm sure you'll get it. Okay, so how do you feel about being a Proud of Them honoree?
Right now, it's finally starting to sink in now. Like I said, I didn't put my name in. I didn't know I was receiving it until I got a call saying I'd won. So it feels really good to be recognized for the effort. I love the award scheme in general. I love that it rewards young Caymanians that are willing to put in the effort and try to be more than what they normally could be.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, be more than you.
Yeah, you're improving. Okay, so where's your billboard?
I've been told it's near the East End Primary School.
You've been told?
I've been told. I myself have not been able to get out that area to see it as of yet. I live in Georgetown, so it's kind of a bus trip to get up there.
Yeah, you're gonna have to though. Like you got what?
I've gotten pictures from my family that are up that way. What it looks like.
We have to go
and take a picture by your picture, you know, so you can always have that as a memory. Like I was up here. You have 6 months before the new one goes up, so you got time to make that trip and take your picture by your billboard. Okay, so now that you're a public figure, do you feel any pressure?
Absolutely, to a degree. I try not to let it bother me too much. I usually say, well, we started this project before we really had any support, so it's where we never really relied on that to get anything done. We've always sort of just said, this is what we want to do, and we're going to work as hard as we have to get it.
Okay.
So pressure now, yeah, absolutely. We're in the public eye now. The club, myself,
yes.
The Maritime Heritage Foundation in general is definitely in the public eye now. So there is a pressure to deliver the best we can, you know.
Definitely.
So what's next for you?
Well, like I say, we have two other boats that are people that have already expressed interest in getting two more boats built. I also work with the Maritime Authority here as a trainee inspector, so looking to continue my endeavors into the maritime field.
Okay, so tell us about the Maritime Heritage Foundation. What is it? How did you get involved?
Okay, well, how I got involved was definitely through my family and close friends of my family. Mr. Hartman was a previous chairperson of it, and my father and grandfather are heavily involved in it. It's a, like I said, it's a foundation that's devoted to preserving and continuing to teach lessons through Cayman's maritime heritage. Anything to do with the sea, from the men that went to sea with the shipping companies to our schooner trade that we used to have, turtling, anything to do with Cayman's, like I said, maritime history. This foundation is dedicated to preserving and teaching that.
Okay, so do you go out to the schools and give lessons, or do students have to come to you to learn?
If you're referring to the Maritime Heritage Foundation, the Catboat Club in general, the Catboat Club does go out to the schools fairly regularly. Mr. Kim Jackson is very involved with the schools. He'll take the boats to them, teach them everything he can, and we're looking to, with the boat project, to expand into allowing students to come that want to learn. We didn't have too much of an opportunity to do it with this first one. We were learning ourselves through a lot of it.
Yeah.
But now that we have the techniques down, we want to start bringing in students.
Okay, so you'll start bringing, so people can be able to volunteer and learn.
Absolutely, yeah. In fact, we want to get to the point where we're actually teaching woodworking in schools again. We've seen that a lot, especially the public schools have very good facilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're not teaching woodwork anymore?
They do, absolutely, but it's not. They do, absolutely. Don't get me wrong. They absolutely teach woodworking. We want to get into boat building and to more intricate works.
That would be interesting. I remember when I was in like year 9 and we used to do tech shop. We would like build clocks and solder little stuff and things like that. And those skills have come in handy.
Yeah. But we want to present an opportunity for students that this technical field is their outlet. We want them to feel like they have a way to express that.
Yeah.
With these more intricate lessons we'll be doing, and with this more detailed work, we'll be able to kind of take kids from the ground up through the process of what it's like to work with these boats and build them, and hopefully they'll be able to get a career in this industry as well. It's an expanding industry, vessel building and working with vessels in general. You'll see on the island there's a number of different places from Compass Marine down to the Catboat Club that offer a wide range of future employment. So
how big is that industry in Cayman?
The industry in Cayman, when it comes to repairing and working with boats, is fairly large. It's not as showy and obvious as you would think, but if you drive around the island, everywhere you'll see different companies like Compass Marine, Marine Tech,
Scott's Marine.
Scott's Marine, yeah. Look for anywhere with Marine in its name, and you'll find a lot of them.
Yes, definitely. So, but the Maritime Heritage Foundation is going to be allowing students to come and learn?
Primarily the Catboat Club. We're somewhat separate from the Maritime Heritage Foundation. We work with them, but we want to allow students to come in. We're trying to work up to that point now.
Okay, but so students will learn how to essentially build a boat from the Catboat Club.
Yes.
But what will they learn from the Maritime Heritage Foundation?
The Maritime Heritage Foundation focuses more on the history of the island, so they get a bit of very in-depth course of the Cayman history and Cayman culture.
Okay, so they'll learn everything underneath the sun, not just how to build a boat or fishing. Well,
yeah, there's a historical and cultural aspect that goes with these boats. That's why we do it. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah, it's not just about the thing you're making; it's about the history and the lessons tied to it.
So, when was the first catboat built in the Cayman Islands?
If you can figure that out, I'll pay you.
I was just gonna ask, how would you know that? Who would know that? We need to figure that out, though. I'm sure somebody knows.
There's several different stories of how the first one was built. Some conflicting records. We're still trying to straighten that out ourselves. Cayman has an oral history dating back hundreds of years, and it's difficult to keep track at a certain point.
Of course. Yeah. So what's the process like to build a catboat?
It's very intensive. When you're working with a wooden boat, you don't have the tolerances you deal with when you're working with many other things. You have to realize that each plank has to fit, has to be in contact the entire length of the boat. Everything has to be to a certain structural level, and everything has to, at the end of the day, everything has to be fair, and the compounds all have to match. So it's definitely a challenge. We learned a lot going through this first boat. Many different techniques. We've tried a couple different modern things. Some have worked, some haven't. We're looking to try some different things with the next two as well. So we're always learning, we're always evolving, we're always trying something new.
So was this the first catboat you were a part of building?
Me, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'd been in Rhode Island for a few years prior to this, working with the International Yacht Restoration School.
Okay.
I'd done 2 vessels there that were similar from scratch builds, but nothing is quite like the Cayman catboat in terms of the challenges you face.
Wow. What were some of the things you learned at the school in Rhode Island?
The International Yacht Restoration School takes you through every aspect of boat building and restoration, even the business side of it. We learned how to do our own contracts, how to do our own agreements, and it's a hands-on field 100%. They'll bring in the vessel from old, dilapidated thing, looks horrible. Wow. And you will rebuild that from top to bottom, and it will look like it just rolled out of the showroom when you're done.
Wow. And how long is that process?
It's a 2 to 3 year course, each one taking up between 8 to 12 months, depending on what, plus extra time for the business side of it as well, and the lofting process.
Wow. Okay, so what's the glimpse into the business side like?
A lot of legal jargon.
Okay. Wow. So not only is it hard to restore,
it's a business
boats,
like anything else. You have to work out what your overhead's going to be, and at the end of the day, you want to try to be able to do this sustainably. You want to be able to make enough to fund yourself to do the next one.
Yes, exactly. It's good to see another young person doing something different. Like, you're not an accountant, you're not a lawyer.
I made that abundantly clear when I was younger that was not going to work for me.
It's really good to see somebody doing something else different. I've never...
You can see the passion that he has for his
Exactly.
I made it abundantly clear. If I did what I did for money, I'd do something else.
True. True.
No, this is 100% a passion-driven project. For me, my father, Kenny Ebanks, Cam Jackson, all the members of the club, it has always been a heart-driven project.
Wow.
We went through some very low times after Ivan. We lost everything from the shop. The whole place got wiped out. And since then, it's just been a climb uphill on your hands and knees. And we're at the top now, and it's hopefully downhill from here, you know.
This island has definitely come a far way since Ivan.
And how did you decide on going to the International Yacht Restoration School?
Well, that was... I had decided I wanted to do something in the maritime field, and I couldn't find anything that quite fit for me. My father was kind of Googling some stuff when they came up with this. And then when I looked at that, I thought, well, that looks pretty interesting. Let's see where that goes. And here I am now. So it was definitely kind of taking a chance. I always say, if you don't know 100% what you want to do, try something.
Exactly. Anything is better than nothing.
Don't sit around.
Don't do nothing.
Yeah. And like I say, you got a long time to live. You've always got time to try something different.
Exactly. And was the experience worthwhile? Do you feel like you learned a lot?
Oh, 110%. Yes. Was it worthwhile? Yes, absolutely. Probably one of the proudest moments of my life is when this boat went into the water. You know, it's that feeling of what you've created and seeing it
actually work.
Yeah, seeing it work, and the massive amount of relief when it actually
when it
touched the water, you know, because we launched this thing that what they call the old-fashioned way, where we had rollers and 2x4s and a whole community. We had a massive outpouring of support from the community on launch day. People came out in the droves. The launching ramp was packed, and everyone got a hand on to help launch the boat, and it was so enjoyable.
That would be so disappointing if it sunk.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, for me, every single crack and creak that thing made going down the ramp, I had nightmares going off in my head.
Exactly. I would die. You have all the members of the community out there supporting you.
Yeah, and I'm looking for any type of drop of water coming in.
Oh my gosh. And it was a team of students who restored the boat?
No, it was this was me, my father, and Kenny Ebanks primarily. We had help from some other members of the community. Clarence Flowers and his team helped us a lot. The actual boat that this is based off of is owned by Clarence Flowers.
Oh, okay.
So,
wow.
like I said, if you hadn't come forward with the boat, a lot of this wouldn't be getting done.
Exactly.
So.
And hopefully more projects will come to you guys.
Oh, absolutely.
soon.
We've got 2 confirmed that want boats. And like I said, we're starting that next project, hopefully sometime in May. We're just going to get the shop tooled back up. We wore down a lot of stuff on this one.
Yes.
Yeah, this one was kind of a breakneck pace to get this one done. We were learning a lot in the process, but we had a hard date we had to meet. So we kind of burned through a lot of our tools.
And how long did it take?
Just under 6 months
Okay.
to do this one. So
wow, that's not a long time.
no, not really. And it's the entire time you're wondering if you're going to meet the deadline and what the product's going to look. Right until the last day, you're wondering what this finished thing's going to look like.
And if it's gonna work.
If it's going to work, absolutely. But there's an aesthetic thing where it's like my dad said, he didn't want to build an ugly boat.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. I mean, the look is kind of necessary. Like, you need a boat that looks nice, at least. I mean, you need a boat that works, first of all. But who wouldn't want a boat that looks nice?
Absolutely. I mean,
exactly. But thank you so much for being on the Flex today. We learned a lot that we didn't know before. Congratulations on restoring the catboat. Congratulations on being a part of them honoree. And I hope your work goes forward and you continue to progress and share the culture of the Cayman Islands.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to that 100%. Like I say, it's just now that we are getting attention internationally as well. We've got companies all around the world that are showing interest in the boats. IYRS is showing a lot of interest in what we do and wants to get deeper involved with us. And even some of just the material companies. We've got emails now from the people that own the epoxy companies that the glue that we use wants to get involved now.
Wow.
That is so cool.
That's good. I hope even more people and organizations wants to get involved.
We've started something now. We want to keep it moving.
Yes, you will definitely continue to progress. Do you have any final comments or shout outs?
I'd just like to say earlier in the week we were getting a lot of stories, people letting us know things about their family, things to do with the catboats they used to have. I just want to let people know, if they go on our Facebook page, Cayman Catboat Club, please feel free to post any stories you have, any pictures you have. We'd love to have them. We'd love to have you share your experiences with us.
All right, so Cayman Catboat Club on Facebook.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. We're going to take our third music break.
Our next song is from Walk the Moon. Here, Shut Up and Dance.